Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom.
Developer interviews.
Hello, my name is Neil Ticktin. I'm the editor-in-chief and publisher of MacTech Magazine, and we're here doing the TUAW MacTech interviews with developers, talking about how Apple's kind of release of information about the new OSs and whatnot is going to affect developers, what they're looking forward to doing, how that might impact you in one form or another. With us now is Greg Scown from Smile Software. Good to see you, Greg.
Neil, thank you for having me.
Get our once in a while we get to see each other in there. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's Apple's starting to release information about OS 10 and OS 10 Maverick and iOS 7, and we're going to see more and more information as time goes on, and obviously they're looking for releasing stuff later this year. And the first question is from what you've seen so far, what are your favorite things that you're seeing in either one or the other or both of the OSs?
I think I'm excited about their focus on improving performance and reliability.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, in OS 10 Mavericks, they're really focused on battery life for mobile devices, and that's exciting to me because I find it hard to get through the day on my machine when I'm out, and I'd really like the idea that they're looking to improve that.
Cool.
And I think they're doing the same thing on the iOS 7 side as well. Can you tell that I work on sort of the lower level stuff? So
Yeah.
I'm more excited about the things that give longevity and that get things out of the way for users and for me in particular.
Right. No, there's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a very common thing. A lot of developers right now are really interested in seeing the performance, in particular on Mavericks, because that really hasn't been there as much as there has been battery, thoughts on the. There's been a lot of thought about battery on the iOS side, but there has not been as much thought on the OS 10 side. And so
Right.
now we're starting to see that get some parity between the two, and it's so often that we see people see iOS benefit from something on the Mac. Now we're starting to see the Mac benefit from something on iOS and get a little bit better handle on that. I want to come back around and talk about like the effects of the new OSs on what you guys are doing. But before we do that, why don't you tell me what Smile's up to these days?
Okay, sure. So most recently, we've released TextExpander Touch 2 on iOS.
Okay.
And that's an update to our TextExpander app, which works in over 150 apps on iOS and allows you to set brief abbreviations that expand into larger snippets of text.
Okay.
So I never type TextExpander, I type capital T, small x.
Got it.
And then you can do much more complicated things like date math or cursor positioning, things like that. And to TextExpander 2, we've added fill in the blanks. So you can set up a boilerplate piece of text that has fill-in fields, that has pop-ups, and that has the ability for you to make what might be sort of a routine communication customized, yet not spend a ton of time doing that as well.
And so that would be used in like an email that somebody would be going out, or and to create a form for them to do, or how would that work?
Sure, you create the snippet within the application, within the app rather, and you'd also do it within the application on the Mac. And then when you trigger it, it brings up basically a box with fill-ins, and you can fill in Neil or what have you. And when you're done, it'll either paste into a note if you're running it in TextExpander. You take the content of that note and dump it into an email, or you take the content of that note and copy it out to another app. Or if you're using drafts, for example, you could actually have it happen directly within the app.
Right. Okay. And of course, Smile has other products as well. There's
Sure.
PDF Pen Pro and whatnot. Want to just briefly touch on those as well?
Sure. Also recently, we released PDF Pen 6 in March, and we added Word export. We added, on the Pro side, the ability to automatically generate forms, and we added document permissions. So we've been hard at work at making PDF Pen 6 better as well.
Yeah. So obviously, for our audience that has not been playing with PDF Pen already, whether it's the Pro version or not, if they're doing anything with PDFs, especially if they want to add signatures, they want to fill out forms, they want to type them on them, anything that really is the kind of manipulation there, it's kind of a must-have tool. It's been part of my toolbox for quite some time. So that's definitely something I would recommend. And then you guys have a little bit more beyond that, if I remember right?
We also have the iOS app, so we have
Right.
PDF Pen for iPad and PDF Pen for iPhone.
Right.
And then when you're running the App Store versions, they'll all sync their libraries. So you can create a library that has your common markup items that you use in PDFs and share that across all your devices.
And it only is if you have the Mac App Store versions, not if you bought it from your store?
We're only able to do it across iCloud at this point.
Okay. But could somebody buy it from your store and then just log into their iCloud account?
No, that's not possible.
Okay.
iCloud is only available to apps that are purchased on the Mac
Okay,
App Store.
got it.
That's a limitation.
A limited Apple that has,
yeah,
right.
does.
Good point. Okay, so let's talk about got these new announcements and stuff that have been coming out,
Mhm.
and we're starting this trickle of information out about what Apple's going to be doing with iOS 7 and OS 10.9. So, how do you see that impacting? How do you see these things impacting what you guys are up to? What are you looking forward to? What are you dreading?
Sure.
And what do you see as this year goes on, how that's going to play out?
Okay, I think they're going to be positive. I think for Text Expander Touch on iOS, the improvements to multitasking are going to allow us to update your snippets that you sync between your computers in the background.
Right.
And so when you fire up Text Expander, there'll be no delay, there'll be no background network activity, it'll just fire up and go.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that.
Cool.
For PDF Pen, we're excited about the improvements to the text system. Anything that makes text editing better on iOS makes PDF Pen better. And also, we're really excited about AirDrop. We hope that AirDrop will be something that we can use for PDF Pen users. So if I'm in a room with you and we are working on PDF
So
Pen, we can actually collaborate on a document in real time, which would be really exciting.
Right.
I mean, that would be, in addition to the other methods you can use now, Dropbox, Evernote, etc.
Sure.
But we think it'll be an exciting new addition.
Cool. Well, Greg, thanks for stopping by and
Okay.
giving us an update on what Smile's up to and where things are going with it. We really appreciate it. I'm Neil Ticktin. These are the TUAW MacTech interviews talking to developers about the new releases that are coming our way later this year from Apple, and we thank you for watching.